I got one that relates to lighting. So listen to this one. How about this? Might have some debates on this one. This one might be more valuable for the beginner grower. But you don't need a grow light where you look at the product listing and you see the par chart and it's 2,000.
He doesn't mean that AC Infinity.
The 2,000 ppfd is what I'm trying to say. Like if you see,
man, some of these crazy ones.
2,000 ppfd, and then if there's a light that is similar in a sense as far as light spread, and there's 1,500 ppfd, the one that's 2,000 ppfd isn't necessarily better. You know what I mean? Because
you're never going to get that high. You're never going to use that much.
Look into DLI. The plant can only take a certain amount of light per day. If you're blasting with 2,000 ppfd throughout the entire light cycle, you're given you're a little bit too high on the DLI side of things. I know adding CO2 in there will help allow that plant to absorb the light, but for the most part, I mean, 2,000 that's
extreme.
Very,
I feel like we're worried about our
high.
terpenes at that point.
1,500. A lot of people are running 1,000 to 1,200. That's with CO2. Some people are buying lights that have that capability, but a lot of people are dimming them down, and they're even having them dimmed in flowering as well. Whether it be as low as 50%, 60%, 70%, and they're still achieving 1,000 ppfd during flowering with that dim percent. So, yeah, if you get a grow light, if you're looking at grow lights, shopping for grow lights, and you're just kind of looking for the highest amount of power that you can possibly get, if you're going above, 1,500, 2,000, you can definitely find a grow light that is a little bit less than that, could be cheaper than that, and give just as good results when it comes to plant growth.
Let me give my President Camacho rebuttal. What I think is, Pete, how fast can the Stang go?
Mustang? Electric Mustang?
How fast can it go? Like, it can go 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds.
That's cute. How's the top speed, brother?
Well, it's a Ford in Canada, and a Ford in Canada governs at 180 kilometers an hour.
Oh. All right.
Yep.
Bad example.
Right.
So
Freedom.
Let's say you buy a freaking new Corvette in America where we're free. You really are never going to go the top speed, right? Ever. But it does feel cool to have the most badass, hard-hitting beast of a vehicle in the game. And there's something about having a light, dude. Like, I'm not even sponsored by them, but Chill Tech, those X6s, when I had those, I bought my first one and then I got the second one for free. I felt like a badass when I was like, 1,000-watt LED light, baby, in this thing. Like, I literally thought I had the next level of technology, the Lamborghini, the best of the best. And now I'm a little bit more humble and I see lights are not as, I don't need all that. But I understand the logic where somebody would get that kind of light because they're like, dude, what if I expand? Well, what if I need to put it up to, it's like, well, we know you're not gonna, Gerald. You live in a small area and you own your house and it's paid off and you're on fixed income, so settle down. But I don't know. There's something about having the most tough, bad stuff, like the heaviest version of it. And I think that's a lot of people's arguments. Either it's the company marketing it that you need this, or it's the individual who is that type of person.
I thought you were going to say the Chill Tech Ultra.
Oh, yeah.
The Ultra
X3.
Versus the... Oh, is that what you meant? Because you said the X6.
Yeah, but I bought the X6, but I did feel like I was then.
The Ultra...
the X3 Ultra.
X3 was marketed towards being the most efficient...
Yep, the best PPFD for the wattage, so the most efficient ever. But it was a $3,000 light.
$3,000. I think that's one of the most expensive lights I've heard
Couldn't
of.
promote it. Saved my life because I couldn't ethically say yes. But wow.
A light that you just hang up on your wall is like decoration.
Don't even use it.
That is the most expensive light. That's history right there.
Skateboard.
The most efficient.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it isn't necessarily that it's going to be the best or it's better. It's just the fact that some people may want that. If you're a thrifty grower, that's an absolute farce. If you're somebody on a budget, don't push yourself to get something that's that heavy and powerful. Because you could get something less than that and maybe work your way up to that. But that's just for the higher echelon of spenders. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody will buy that because of the efficacy, which is beautiful. But you can get something for your pocket efficacy that will give you very, very similar results, you know?
Yeah, and I can compare that with, like, nutrients. You don't need an array of nutrients, and that goes for both synthetic and organic when you're using Stash Blend. Because
or the hottest nutrients too. You don't need the biggest name.
Don't need the biggest names.
Unless
you can get the smallest name in a tight package. It's Stash Blend. And the reason I say that is because this has so much stuff in it. It's got your mycorrhizae, it's got your silica, it's got your humic acid, it's got your beneficial bacteria. It's got everything in it that's typically separated up into different bottles, different bags, different lines. And it's like, oh, I need all of these to grow great stuff. No, you don't. Nope.
Great
nope.
stuff.
$12 bag, 8 ounce, 4 ounce, whichever one, or 8 ounce. We don't do 4s anymore. 8 ounce is going to get you satisfied for quite a few cycles, and it's going to save you hundreds.
Or go buy a bottle of silica, go get yourself some microbes with some bennies in it, get some humic acid, get yourself some seaweed extract, get yourself some additional
at $14.99 per bottle or
then,
per bag.
Yeah, and then get
if you were
that
to
and
do
mix
it
in.
individually.
But that's the same argument I'd say for somebody who may go and get a big line of nutrients that are synthetic. It's the same thing where you can maybe find organic alternatives that are going to be a lot more affordable, this being one of them, but others as well. I really think that was something I overlooked where I'm like, yeah, if I break it down per gram, it's cheaper for all these components, but I got to buy a big container of it. Like my parboiled rice hulls I've had for 8 years, 6 years. I bought them before I started doing organic growing. I've had them for so long, but I had to get like a tub, like a big old thing of them. It wasn't just a small amount for my one plant I was trying to grow. I had to buy a ton of them to be able to mix my own soil, or buy a pre-made thing that cost me more money. You know, when I break it down, I'm like, I can get this for 45, or I get this for 80, but for 80, I'll have this forever. I'll never buy another one. So it's the give and take. Either maybe you have to do some more work, or you have to spend some more money. I have to do more work, and I spent more money. But long term, I spent less money. You know.
Got another one.
Okay, I got one.
I got another one that I'm still gonna get some hate on this. Some people call the hypocrite on this one, or somebody's gonna be like, "What the heck? Why are you saying this one, Chris?" Which is, you don't need a Canatrol.
I was waiting for that.
You waiting for it?
I was waiting for that. I was like,
No, I love Canatrol.
Now
I love Canatrol. I really do. Like, I did a whole
so much free publicity from this guy over here. If you don't,
I did a whole review on it.
And
You know what I mean, to
it.
break down the pros and cons and all that stuff. And I do use it. I just got another one. But you don't need it. You don't. It's a very expensive
You
product.
don't need it, and you'll hate it.
It's
But
one.
here's why you should get it.
It's $1,600 per unit. Very, very expensive in my opinion. That's, I think, everybody's biggest gripe. And you don't need that to successfully dry the plant. This is mostly a drying machine. A lot of people consider it, it's a curing. I can just, do it and store it in jars and stuff like that. I don't need it for curing. It's mostly a drying machine. That's where you get the most benefit because it is so hands off. But again, you don't need to spend that amount of money to dry your plants. You can just do it. You can dry your plants in a grow tent instead and still be able to get to that shelf stable 0.6. That's the goal on the drying. 0.6 water activity is the goal when it comes to drying, bringing it down to that shelf stable amount. So don't spend $1,600 unless you're someone like me who's a hobbyist.
Or a baller.
And that's one of the main reasons why I got it. I wanted to use it. So much hype about it. It's a new product. A lot of people don't have it. I know you guys don't have it. So I wanted to get one to try it out because I'm interested in technology. And I want to create content around it too. You know what I mean? Spread some awareness about it. There was no reviews on the internet at the time. And when you're making a large decision like that on spending a larger item, you're going to do research and you're going to look out for YouTube videos, articles, reviews, so on and so forth. And there was nothing really up there. So I kind of felt like, hey, I should probably release something and let people know the pros and cons about it from a user perspective. And then hopefully that helps people. So, and
you've made them so much money. It's insane. But I will say, if you live in an area like you do, if you're a young father, new to the game, busy as hell, business owner, content creator, again, dry climate. Do you need it? No. Will it help you a lot? Yeah. And I see that. I could totally tell the difference of the flower. Absolutely, totally can tell. One seemed like, did you just harvest this? You're like, no, actually, no. I harvested this one a while ago. It's been in the Canatrol. And I was like, oh, wow. Damn it. I'm almost unhappy that it's so good. And I'm like, I can't argue now. It's just like we were having for the episode about which is the best way to grow. You'll agree. Similar thing. It's like, man, I can't argue that. The only thing I can complain about is the price point. It's the only thing I can complain about. And I feel that's new technology. It's almost wrapping that into you don't always need the newest, coolest technology. You can find an alternative with putting more labor in. because it's going to take a lot more work to dial it in like you want to like that. This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.